Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedbuilding video, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. So in today's video I'm going to build a house in the world of Newcrest, and I'm going to build a base game only house, which means that you don't need any DLCs to download this house, you don't need the expansion packs, any game packs, any stuff packs. All you need is purely the Sims 4 base game to download this house and have it in your game. Now I have actually done a few base game houses before in the past. I've done base game starter houses, family houses, I've done a few limited pack builds where I'll use base game and a DLC, but it's actually been quite some time since I actually sat down and did a purely base game build. And yesterday we actually got the 21st anniversary present from The Sims, which was a free update, and it just inspired me to sit down and build a base game house. So like I said, you don't need any type of pack to download this house, you don't need any expansion packs or anything. All you need is purely the base game, and I'm just so excited to show you guys this house because I'm very happy with it, so hopefully you guys like it. So some information about the house. So it's a 5-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms. There is a parent's bedroom, there is 2 teenagers' bedrooms, both have a double bed in. There is a child's bedroom as well as a toddler's bedroom, and then with the 3 bathrooms there is 1 downstairs and then 2 upstairs. But then alongside all of the other kind of things in a house, like a kitchen and a lounge that you basically find in every single type of house, I tried to fill this house with so much gameplay as it is a base game house, and I feel like a base game with the gameplay can be quite limiting, and so I basically tried to put every single type of gameplay build and buy item that we actually have within base game into this build. So there is a home gym, there is also a little kind of like bar area, there is like chess tables, there's art easels, there is a home office, there is a music room with like a grand piano and a guitar and a violin. What else is there? There's probably something else that I'm missing. Obviously there's going to be a swimming pool in the back garden, because even though people probably won't admit it, at least at one point in everyone's lifetime they have put a sim in the swimming pool to kill them. That's a new gameplay item, or a gameplay item. It's not particularly new, but it's also a gameplay item. I just basically tried to fill this house with every single type of gameplay that you can have in the Sims 4 base game. So I hope you guys like it. So talking about the update that we actually got yesterday. So yesterday we got the 21st anniversary gift from The Sims 4. Now the anniversary of The Sims was actually on the 4th of February. So I'm not actually quite sure why we've only just now got the update. But regardless, I'm very happy with the update, and I know a lot of people are as well. So within the update, it's kind of like a special one, because with this update, it's not just something that the Sim Gurus made and it was kind of given to us. It was actually something that CC creators and modders in the Sims community actually made, and they collaborated with the Sims as kind of like the anniversary present. I just think that's the most amazing thing, and I couldn't be happier for every single person that was involved in this anniversary gift. I can't even imagine the feeling of accomplishment. I saw one person on Twitter, I'm not sure which CC creator it was, but someone tweeted that they've been playing the game since they were like 10 or 11 years old, and now their name is actually in the game. Because a really cool thing that they've actually put into this update is all of the like the CAS items or the build and buy furniture, they all actually have a label to say which CC creator actually created them. I would tell you every single person that was actually involved in this anniversary update and was just involved in this whole entire thing, but honestly I would be here forever. So what I'm actually going to do instead is I'm actually going to link something in the description box down below. It will either be like the patch notes or maybe like the update notes, or I'll just basically link a page where you can go and read about every single creator that was actually involved in this anniversary. I just honestly, I couldn't be happier for them. I've got like second-hand happiness. Is that a thing? I know second-hand embarrassment's a thing. I'm pretty sure second-hand happiness is a thing, and I think I've got it right now for every single person that was actually included and just involved in this update. But anyway, moving on from that and actually talking about something else that happened last night. So I actually started building this house last night, and I finished it around about 3 o'clock in the morning. And when I finished it, I went on Twitter, because when I actually build, I don't go on my phone at all. I'm just like in building mode. I don't look at my phone, I don't look at anything. Nowadays I don't even watch Netflix when I build, because I'm going to go a little bit off track, but I'll come back to what I was saying, I promise. But I used to actually build watching Netflix or Amazon Prime, and I used to watch like series or films when I used to build. I used to really enjoy it. But I've done it a few times where I'll be watching something and I'll stop recording to maybe do like the wallpapering and flooring, or maybe a little bit of landscape in the back garden, and I would forget to re-record what I was doing, and then I'd come to the end of the build and realise I hadn't been recording. I did it so many times, I've actually now stopped watching anything when I actually build, and surprisingly I'm not sick of the Sims 4 build and buy music yet. I don't know how I'm not sick of it, because I've been hearing it for 6 years, but somehow I'm not sick of it yet. But when I was actually building my game, once I finished it, I came off and I went onto Twitter. I missed so much last night. So there was a stream that kind of showcased everything that was actually in the anniversary update, and then within the stream itself, at the very end, they actually showed a screenshot of a load of different tweets which basically said something along the lines of, we really need bunk beds in The Sims 4, The Sims 4 needs bunk beds, I really wish we had bunk beds. And then it kind of went onto a screen which basically showed a blacked out bunk bed and something like coming soon or coming in March. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head what the wording was, but basically we're getting bunk beds into The Sims 4. I couldn't be happier. I was reading my phone at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to process that information. And then as well as that, we also got another leak, which is actually a new type of pack leak. So obviously we have expansion packs, we have game packs, and we have stuff packs within The Sims 4. And apparently they're meant to be introducing a new type of pack, which is called a kit. Now that is so difficult to say. I feel like I'm going to stumble on my words. So I'm going to be calling it a small stuff pack, because I feel like that's so much easier to say than kit, because it's just it's something that will make me stumble on my words. And so with these small stuff packs, I feel like they might be similar to the Sims 3 store. If you're familiar with Sims 3 store, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But basically with the Sims 3 store, you could download kind of like sets, so like a kitchen set, or maybe like a back garden set, or maybe like a bedroom set, and you didn't actually have to buy a whole DLC just to have new content in your game. Now we do only have very limited information on these new small stuff packs because it was a leak, it wasn't meant to happen. I'm not sure who found it, but I went onto Twitter and it was just everywhere, and I think I tweeted something like, are we getting Hoovers in The Sims 4? Because there's one type of small stuff pack, which by the way, remember I'm referring to them as small stuff packs instead of kits because that's a tongue twister, but there is one that is called Bust the Dust, and it's basically a Hoover pack for The Sims 4. I personally, as soon as I saw this, my heart was like, I need it, because if you are familiar with my channel and you've been watching my videos for a little while, you know I love a bit of realism in my game. I try to implement as much realism as I can within my Sims builds, and I try and clutter it up to make it look realistic. And a Hoover, I couldn't think of anything better in a little utility room or like a laundry room. You got your washing machine, you got your tumble dryer, you got your little, your ironing board, you got your broom, and then you got a Hoover in the corner. I really didn't think that would be something that would actually get into The Sims 4. I've definitely thought about it before, thinking like, because I'm someone that always likes my Sims to do a lot of chores. I like my Sims to wash all the dishes and do laundry. That's why I always put washing machines and tumble dryers into all of my builds, because I love that aspect of realism, and I just love my Sims basically doing chores. And I've always thought about hoovering could be like a cool thing, but who actually thought that we'd get a Hoover in The Sims 4? So I'm very excited to find out more information about that particular one. There is also another 2 ones that we got leaked, which are Country Kitchen Kit and Throwback Fit Kit. Now with the throwback one, it basically looks like some 80s kind of retro style clothing. It kind of reminds me of fitness stuff part 2, because we actually do have a fitness stuff pack already in the game. When I originally saw that, I was like, is this a fitness stuff 2.0? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it basically just looks like a CAS only kind of pack, which I was thinking, okay, but you could just download CC on the internet and you have basically that whole entire pack. But then I was actually thinking, well, if you're a console player, then that would be a really good idea, because maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money on a new DLC just to get a few new CAS items, or maybe you're someone that likes to play vanilla style without any custom content and without any mods, and that would also be a great way to implement some new, some new tops, some new jeans, some new whatever into your game. I personally actually used to play with no mods, no custom content whatsoever, and that wasn't out of choice. It was only purely for the fact of my old laptop for some reason was just never able to let me put any custom content or any mods into my game. I don't know why. It's always just been confusing to me, because I do it the exact same way on my PC now, but I always used to have to play vanilla style. And if you are someone that likes to play vanilla style, then this might be a really good alternative, rather than to buy a million different stuff packs and loads of different game packs and stuff to get new CAS items and new build and buy items. I really like the idea. Obviously we don't know much information about it, and I'm very interested to find out more information about it. I think we're going to get a few more updates on it around about March time, around the 2nd of March or whatever, but I don't know. And then the last one is actually Country Kitchen Kit, which I saw this and I was like, yes, Brindleton Bay, that would fit in so perfectly. I've always personally felt like with cats and dogs, they kind of miss an opportunity to actually have a country kitchen kind of style, because the cats and dogs pack is very kind of country style, farm-like kind of style of furniture, and we don't really have a country kind of kitchen set within The Sims 4, and so that will just be a great addition to the game. Like I said, we don't know much information about it, and I feel like we can't really give our full opinions until we actually know more information about it. I'm sitting over here saying I love the ideas, but I feel like we can't really critique it until we fully know more information about the pack, because it could be really good, and we don't actually know. Like I said though, I'm personally all up for the Hoover pack. I'm so excited for that pack. But anyway, moving on from that, as you can see, I've actually started furnishing the back garden. Now, I did decide to cut out the landscaping for the back garden just purely for the fact of I didn't want to make the video really long. I like to try and keep my videos below 25 minutes, and without the screenshots, it's currently standing at 23 minutes 56, which is 4 seconds short of 24 minutes, and I don't know how long it's going to be with the screenshots, and so I did decide just to cut it out. It's basically the exact same landscaping in the back garden as the front garden. It's just kind of in like a different formation. It's the same plants and trees and flowers and stuff, just in different kind of placements. You'll see me do a little bit here and there, like you can kind of see me doing this little section over here, but for the main part I did actually decide to cut it out. But in the back garden though, we do actually have a really large swimming pool. I felt like with a base game house it was necessary to have a swimming pool in the back garden. We also do have some sunbeds now. I haven't actually done a base game build since we actually got Island Living. When we actually got Island Living, we actually got sunbeds in the game, which was such an amazing thing. But with the Island Living sunbeds, we also got some base game ones, and I was able to use them ones. I also placed down the monkey bars in the back corner because there is a child in this household as well as 2 teenagers. I also placed down this little kind of like barbecue area, so I did just use a barbecue, and then a seating like arrangement. So I used a table and then some chairs, but I do actually end up deleting that because I didn't actually like the look of it at the end of it. So I did actually decide to switch that up for just like another base game black table and some matching chairs. You'll see that in the screenshots though. I didn't feel like that was a massive thing to change up. It was just because when I actually came in and I was doing the wallpapering and flooring, I think it was, that's when I decided to actually switch it out. So you might actually be able to see it at some points during this video. And I think that's basically it for the back garden. Obviously we do actually have the garage, which is actually accessible from the back garden, so you kind of got a lot of planters in the back garden, and there's kind of like this little section which leads you into like the back door of the garage. And then obviously in the garage we have like this little gym area, and we also have like woodworking tables, and we'll get onto that later on in the video. But currently I've actually moved on to the inside of this house. Like always, wallpapering and flooring I did do off camera, and I can very confidently tell you every single piece of wallpapering and flooring is base game, because normally I struggle to remember which wallpaper and which flooring I use from which packs, but as it is a base game only build, I can guarantee every single thing is purely base game. As you can see, I went for base game counters and a base game fridge and a base game oven, and I'm trying to clutter it up as much as possible. One challenge I definitely faced when I was actually furnishing the inside of this house was just trying to find a lot of clutter to kind of make it feel a little bit more lived in and a little bit more like my previous builds, because I always do clutter up the insides like mad. I always like to make them feel very lived in, not overly cluttered, but just kind of like the right amount of clutter. But I always tend to use debug menu items from like Laundry Day or Parenthood, and I didn't have them particular items when I was actually decorating and furnishing this house, so that was definitely a challenge that I actually faced, but I feel like I did an okay job. I don't know, you have to let me know in the comment section down below. As you can see in the kitchens, I actually used the new bar stools that we actually got within this update. Now the bar stools, the table, the chairs, and the new flower arrangement, is actually by Hey Harry. If you haven't checked out Hey Harry, I highly recommend it. I've got every single one of their CC packs. They're amazing. I couldn't recommend them enough, and so I really wanted to use all the new items that we actually got in the update. As you can see, I've actually got this little table over here as well. Now this table actually came with a mirror and a wardrobe, which was from, I believe it was Peacemaker who made them particular items. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box down below, and you can go and check out every single person that was involved in this collaboration and what they created, and just check them out because they're all amazing people. But I'd really wanted to use them new bar stools in the kitchen, and I actually managed to pair them with the dining room table and the chairs, which are also from the new update. There is actually a longer table version of that table, so there's one that I've kind of put which you can fit 2 seats around one side, and then there is also another table which you can fit 3 seats on one side. I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm basically saying that there's a really long version of that table, which is really nice because I know that I'm going to get so much use out of them new tables and the new chairs and just everything that we actually got in this update. I know I'm going to get so much use out of it. But now moving on, I've now started furnishing the lounge room. So in the lounge room, it was just kind of inevitable that I was going to go for these sofas. These sofas are from, I think it's the Tech Guru Career. I could be wrong, but I think they're unlockable within the game, and they're one of my favourite sofas in the game. And I always talk about how I wish it came in a 2-seater version, because unfortunately it only comes in the 3-seater version. But that wasn't really a problem when it came to furnishing and like decorating this lounge room, because I was actually able to use 2 of the 3-seaters. As you can see, I'm just going around and cluttering it up. I have a little side table and I put like a TV remote, I put a box of tissues, a lamp and like a photo frame. I also did add some wall decorations and kind of like picture frames above the sofas. Now if you're wondering where they're actually from, they are base game and they're actually a debug menu item which your Sims can actually like get, or kind of, I don't want to say unlock because it's not an unlockable, but basically if your Sim was to look through the microscope or if they were to look through a telescope, they would kind of get all these different prints, and there were just 2 of the different options of the actual prints that are available in the debug menu. If you haven't, I would highly recommend that you go into the debug menu and you just have a little browse, because honestly the debug menu is one of my favourite things about The Sims 4. The debug menu and the live edit menu, I absolutely love them. I use all of my landscaping from the live edit menu, and I just highly recommend just having a little browse through the debug menu and the live edit menu, because that's where I was able to actually get them really nice picture frames, because I'm so sick of the normal picture frames that we actually have within the normal build and buy. I feel like I've used them all the time, and I feel like using these new debug ones, I say new, they're not actually new, they've been in the game since The Sims 4 launch, but with using these prints it kind of mixes things up a bit and it makes it feel a little bit fresh. It feels like new content even though it's not actually new content. But anyways, moving on, I'm just finishing up this little home office area over here, and I've actually now moved on and I've started furnishing the music room. Now I was really unsure on what to do in this room. I was originally thinking that maybe I can make it into like a home library, but in the home office, which I just did, there is a bookcase in there, there is a little seating area in there, there's an art easel in there, there's a computer area in there as well. Basically everything that I would actually have into a home library I already put into the home office, and so I decided to make it into a music room because, like I said at the start, I wanted to try and include every single piece of gameplay items that we actually have in the build and buy catalog into this build. And obviously I needed to put the grand piano somewhere, and so I did actually decide to make a little separate music room with the grand piano, with the violin, and also with the guitar. But now I've actually moved on upstairs and I've actually started furnishing one of the bathrooms. Now there is actually a bathroom downstairs, but I decided to show the furnishing of just this one bathroom, which is upstairs. Like always though, I don't actually show the furnishing of the other bathrooms. It's just repetitive and it's quite boring if I'm being completely honest. But now moving on, I've started furnishing the toddler's bedroom. I really love this bedroom. I really enjoy it. I think it's so sweet, it's so cute, and I feel like with toddlers I didn't really struggle that much to decorate, because with toddlers we got them with a base game update, and with them we actually got a load of kind of like toddler related items and decorations, and so I felt like it was a little bit easier to decorate this room than it was to decorate the kids room. Now currently I'm actually just clutching up this little bedside table next to the toddler's bed, and I actually pulled out one of my saved rooms. Now I did just want to speak about this just in case you're curious what that is about and what I am doing. Basically, before I got the better build and buy mod, which is the mod that actually allows me to pull out debug menu items and live edit menu items without activating a cheat from my normal build and buy, I kind of can filter it, so if I want to just have all the debug menu items I can search for them, and you can actually search for them and you can duplicate them. I'm not going to go on about it. I talk about it in literally every single one of my videos. The link is in the description box down below, which will link you to the creator's Patreon, and you can download it over there. Highly recommend the mod. But before I downloaded that mod, I used to actually just put all of the different debug menu items into a saved room, and so I'll have like a kitchen saved room, like a bathroom saved room, a toddler saved room, and it'll be like all debug menu items that I would normally have to activate a cheat to go and find, and then I'll just put them into a little room. I'll save them to my saved rooms, and then I used to be able to plop them out of my saved rooms and then just place the items free will, and I didn't have to activate a cheat or anything. I just feel like it's such an easier way of doing things, and I could have easily just searched for them items within my catalog, because with the mod you can actually search for debug menu items, which is a lifesaver in itself. But for some reason I just decided to pull out one of my saved rooms. I just thought I'd mention it in case you were curious what I was doing, but I just pulled out one that was like a toddler, like baby related one. It had some toddler books, there was like nappies, there were baby bottles, there was like this little ducky, really adorable. But anyway, as you can see, I've now moved on and I've started furnishing one of the other bedrooms. So this is one of the teenagers' bedrooms. Like I mentioned, there is actually 2 teenage bedrooms in this house. If you actually wanted to, and you wanted to have maybe one teenager, one child, one toddler, a set of parents, and maybe some grandparents, you could definitely just switch the room up to be a more grandparent style, because I really don't feel like this kind of furnishing and decorations would really fit a really nice little old lady. So maybe you might want to switch it up if you want to actually have some grandparents live here. But if you wanted to have a generations kind of thing going on, a generations family live in this house, you could definitely do it and just switch this room up, or you could keep it. It depends on what you want to do. But now I've actually moved on and I've started furnishing the next teenager's bedroom. So both of the teenager's bedroom actually have them windows, which I don't want to call them bay windows, but they're a window that actually has a really nice deep kind of ledge, and you can kind of put things on. Now I did actually use the move objects cheat to actually move some objects up and actually place them on. It just looks a little bit more realistic. It looks like they've put some stuff on their windowsill, because realistically you're gonna have some things on your windowsill. I've currently got some things on my windowsill, everyone's got stuff on their windowsill, and to add some more realism I decided to do it into this house. As you can see though, in this bedroom I do actually have one of them new wardrobes that we actually got, all the new wardrobe that we actually got with the update. I used it in the other teenager's bedroom as well. I think I used it in black in that bedroom, in like this kind of creamy colour in here, and then I also used it in the child's bedroom as well. I think in the child's bedroom I might have used it in like the brown swatch, but definitely got my use out of that wardrobe within this house. Now I have actually moved on to this child's bedroom, and I really didn't know how to furnish it, because I feel like I just mentioned, with children I find it a little bit harder to decorate their rooms and their spaces to be more childlike within just the Sims 4 base game. And that's probably one of the reasons why we actually got kids room stuff, because it kind of gave us a lot more items to decorate and to furnish with. And so I kind of just did the best that I could. As you can see, I do actually just have one of them really large play dollhouse things in the middle of the window, and I actually cluttered some toys around the edge of this play doll house, so it kind of looks like all of the different toys that are cluttered around it are actually part of the castle. So maybe the car that's in front of it is the, I don't know, the prince and the princess's car. That's how they get around. I just wanted to include it. I felt like it looked very realistic. I also did add the little drawing table into that room as well as the little dragon kind of teddy bear that your Sims can cuddle and like kind of hit and stuff, or they can talk to it. And then I think I also added a toy box. But now I've actually moved on and I've started furnishing the parents' bedroom. So in here I was quite stuck on what bed I was going to go for, but I actually ended up going for this one, which is an unlockable bed, which I think is from the artist career. It came in 3 different swatches. It came in the red one that I actually used, and then it came in a yellow one which kind of had like sunflowers on, which I know is a famous painting, and then it also came in a blue swatch which also had a blue like painting on. I can't think for the life of me who the artists are in each individual bedspread, but like the whole entire bedspread was basically a painting, and I just felt like something more neutral would fit better, so I decided to go for the red swatch. But now I have actually moved on to the last room in the house, which is actually the garage. So in the garage is part gym, part kind of like chill out room. I don't really know what to term it as, but as you can see I did use the treadmill, the punching bag, and also them weight things I don't know the name of. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. The thing in the corner where your Sim basically sits down and does like leg lifts and arm stuff. I don't know what it is, but anyway, on the other side of the room I have got this little bar area. I also do have a chess table in here as well, and then I also do add some little armchairs, so maybe your Sims have people come round on like a Friday or Saturday night. They have a few drinks in here, and there is also a woodworking table. I also add one of the little like corkboard things and add a few of the debug postcards onto there as well. I think that's pretty much it. Or I also do actually add a stereo into the corner as well, just so your Sims have something to listen to when they are actually working out. And then I also do add a TV into this room as well, and I think that's basically it. So anyway guys, I'm actually going to end this voiceover here. As always, you can download this build via the gallery. My origin ID is JessicapieYT, or you can just search for the hashtag JessicapieYT, or you can just search for the hashtag Jessicapie. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, if you do like my content, then please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speedbuilding video. Bye guys.